Hello, everybody listening to the Fairweather Podcast. Your boy 2K Suave. I'm joined with my co-host Alex Rodriguez, and we are joined by the all-time leading scorer LeBron James. Now, he's not on the podcast. He's not on the podcast, but he's in our hearts and he's in our brains and he's in our, he's fresh. He's fresh in our minds right now. Hey, Rod, how are you?
Doing good, man. Great week for sports with a lot going on. Um, if you didn't witness greatness yesterday, shame on you.
They broke records.
Um,
3 million people reviewing that shit.
yeah, and I'm glad NBA TV didn't have that shit. I'm glad it was
Dog,
prime time.
they knew they could not let the NBA TV get that. TNT was like, yeah. We'll take it from here.
Yeah, it'd be a joke. Although it did suck that like Ernie and all them weren't on the show afterwards. They had like the B committee out there, but they
No,
did a great job. So,
I
but
know. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, damn, I wanted to see the old guys on there. Shaq, Kenny. I mean, Shaq was obviously already there, but Kenny, EJ, Chuck. So it is what it is. At the end of the day, he's going to play on Thursday night again against the Milwaukee Bucks, and hopefully for me as a Brown fan, they can right this shit because it ain't looking pretty. At the end of the show, towards the end, we're going to talk about NBA trade deadline, and there's a lot of shit that needs to be done between now and when y'all probably listening to this. So but let's kick it off. Obviously, it's Super Bowl week, but just like last week, with NFC Championship, AFC Championship was big, but Tom Brady retired. This week, LeBron
yeah,
James broke the all-time scoring record, and I'm gonna just take the floor right now because I am the number one LeBron James fan behind maybe Shannon Sharpe, and that's about it. That's like my family. Shannon Sharpe is my uncle. LeBron James is my cousin. Allen Iverson is my brother. Like I have like a whole family of these people right now, and from watching LeBron James since 2002, actually, when he was in high school. At that, like I said it last week. At that time, I was like, when they were going into the draft, I was more fixated on Carmelo Anthony more so than LeBron James because it's hard for me to trust a high schooler to just jump in the league and just take over like that. And I watched his first game like everybody else did against Sacramento. I remember watching his first shot ever. I was like, hey, okay, that's cool. Carmelo's still better, right? That was me early on. And by the end of that season, I was like, I thought Carmelo should have won a Rookie of the Year. I'm like, yo, this dude LeBron's about to be something else. And from then on, so he averaged 20 points a game his first year, and since then, he has not averaged less than 25 points a game. That is 19 years of 25 plus points a game. Um, so I mean, put that in perspective. I mean, he's 38 years old. He's been in the league for 20 years, and he's still scoring. He's averaging 30 points a game right now. And, for him to pass Kareem and the atmosphere of the game, Kareem being there, they've had their little, issues on social media and stuff like that in the past. You know, I wish Michael Jordan was there, but hey, I wish Kobe was there though. I said that last week. I do wish Kobe was there, especially being a Laker. Um, Adam Silver, Denzel Washington, Jay-Z, Shannon Sharpe, obviously. I mean, the list goes on. It reminded me of Kobe's 60-point game, his last game. Every time he touched the ball, everybody's on their feet. I'm like, bro, it's like 36 more points to go. Like, relax. So, for me, when it happened, I couldn't even know what to say for like 30 minutes, man. I just sat there like I teared up. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a softie. I definitely teared up about it. He's somebody that I really just admire as a human being and a basketball player. I do get frustrated and angry with people because every time anybody brings up LeBron, it's always, oh, he's not Jordan, he's not Kobe, he's not this, he's not that. Oh, three, he choked, he did this, he's not clutch. And it's like, I get so angry and worked up how we can't all just appreciate a moment together rather than everyone has to like tear each other down. It's like I read comments on like, posts and stuff like that, and it's always negative, 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 negative. It's like, where did all the positivity go? it's okay for, what's the point of having an opinion if you're not allowed to make your opinion without being crucified all the time? You know what I mean? So it's like, I do get a little bitter about people and how they just, they act like their word is bond, and we're not allowed to have our own opinions. And I've been saying it forever. I think Michael Jordan and LeBron James are the two greatest basketball players I've ever seen in my life. I'm proud of the accomplishment that he's made. I wish they can give him some help in LA, so he can probably, grab another ring, get to that 5 number like Kobe and Tim Duncan. But, my hat's off to LeBron. I mean, his beautiful family was there. It was just a beautiful moment. And to me, watching LeBron, it's like, it's like watching like a superhero. That's how I see him. He's like black excellence to me. And that's somebody I just aspire to be like. So my hat's off to Mr. LeBron Raymond James. The floor is yours.
Yeah, man. It was definitely emotional for me too, man. That's a record that hasn't been broken in 40 years. Was that the number?
Yeah, 39 years.
Okay, we'll say about 40. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing to accomplish. And Super Bowl happens every year. There's a winner of the Super Bowl every year. There's a new team that's in it every year. This doesn't come around. This is like, Haley's Comet. This comes around once in a decade, man.
It's literally a generational thing.
It is. And the fact that he's 38 years old and did it 300 games before Kareem hit that number is even more insane. This man puts his body on the line every day. He's in shape. He comes out to play. And put some respect on this man's name. Like why do we not talk about him for an MVP candidate? It makes no sense. It's only because he's on the Lakers and the Lakers are trash. We get that, but there is something that LeBron James brings to the game of basketball that you've never seen before. And just like you were saying, all the naysayers, all the people that talk ill of him, that are LeBron haters, like you're legit a hater. This guy is the epitome of class act. He's literally the person, when you look up class act in definition, is LeBron James. That he's outside of maybe the decision, which all the proceeds went to a bike.
The Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, exactly.
He rose $1 million for Boys and Girls Club. That's his biggest scandal.
That's his biggest scandal. I would agree, but like at the same time, at what cost? Do you want to crucify this man? Great family man, great teammate, vocal about how he feels and how he stands with social justice and different topics. Never backs down from a challenge. Can carry a team if he needs to. Can carry a team, but needs good players around him because he wants to make everybody better on the court. And you're gonna take for granted when he's gone, because you're never gonna get another player like this. The Skip Baylesses of the world, the people that talk ill about him. I know on what was I watching the other day? Stephen A. show. Chris Russo said he's not the greatest scorer of all time. He is the greatest scorer of all time. He just passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think we're stuck in the narrative where, you and I we've seen Michael Jordan play. We've seen Kobe play. We may have got like the tail end of those 80s players coming in. We got to see LeBron from the kid from Akron to the man that he is now. We've seen all of this. And I think as sports enthusiasts, you got to evolve with the times. The game of basketball evolves, the game of football, baseball, all of it evolves. And the one thing you have to appreciate is we got to see Michael Jordan play. We saw his greatness. We were told there's never going to be another Michael Jordan. However, there will be a LeBron James. And I remember that kid coming out of high school, how they hyped him up to be the next best thing. Just like you, I'm a big Carmelo Anthony fan. I was always a big Carmelo Anthony fan. But when this kid touched the floor, it was electrifying. And he's the greatest scorer of all time. Lo and behold, from 2000 and what was it, 2002 when he came in the league?
03.
2003 when he came in the league until now, he's been dominant. And I know you reposted it. I'm sorry, I know I'm going on my little rant too.
No, please.
It's a sensitive topic, man, because like I hate people who hate this man. There's no reason to hate him. There's no reason to say he's not clutch. He's the like I know you posted that clip from JJ Redick. JJ
big shout out to JJ Redick.
Yeah,
I love
JJ
that dude,
Redick
man.
is the man. Like
he's the only Duke player that I would rather die for.
he gets it. He gets it. Like y'all say he's not clutch. Y'all say this, and this about the man, but he's the league leader of all time in clutch points.
Well, Kobe has the most clutch shots made, and then it's LeBron. But like,
but
overall playoffs combined, yes.
I think it's like 6 points or something like that.
Yeah, it's like not much. Yeah, it's not much.
Whatever you want to dissect. The man is now the leading scorer. The man is number 4 in assists.
On top of that, like he's on top of this game. He's the all-time leading scorer in the playoffs too, isn't he? Yeah.
Like, come on, and he's
like
still
overall, he was already the all-time leading scorer of playoffs and NBA. I mean, regular season combined, like 2 years ago. He's like, he's everything, man. He's the pinnacle when it comes to like basketball to me.
He's gotten to the finals, lost with the Cavaliers. He left because it wasn't getting done there. He basically put that entire team on his back, and he wanted to go play with his friends. Wanted in Miami, went to the finals every year he was there. You know, lost to some really good 3-point shooting teams.
Yes.
Then comes back to Cleveland and does it all. Does it all. The amazing block, the Cleveland, this is for you. Jump ship, goes to LA, wins it the first year in the bubble. And how can you not respect this guy, man? Like, it's insane. It's insane for you LeBron haters. Like, I get it, you love Kobe. I get it, you love Jordan, but this is not the same caliber player, okay? This man is in a league of his own, and just as every other one of them, those men are in a league of their own. You need to learn to respect players for who they are. There is your LeBron Jameses, there's your Kobe's, there's your Michael Jordans. I mean, you can be a fan of whatever you want, but to speak well of this man's name and his accomplishments and his legacy, I just don't get it. I don't get it. The man is great. Witness greatness is his slogan, man.
That's we did for 20 years, and we still are. That's the crazy thing, is that we still are. It's like, damn, this dude's good, man.
Yeah, it was definitely an emotional game for me to watch, because I have a soft spot in my heart for LeBron. I got a bunch of his shoes. I'm a avid sneaker collector. I got about 5 or 6 LeBrons, all original colorways, from the 1s, I think, to the 8s that I have, maybe the 11s when he went to the Miami Heat. I got them all, man, like the first colorway of them all. I'm that passionate about what this man brings to the game and what he stands for as an athlete, how he holds himself accountable for everything, and the way he moves. Like, you can't look for a better role model. You can't find a better role model than him. It was spectacular to see that last night. It was class act on everybody's end. Like, I know we were saying, Kareem was going to be a dick and whatever. Kareem was a class act. Mm-hmm. Kareem was a class act. He was out there, gave him his praise, gave him the number 1, thanked him. Even Shaq and him went on and he apologized to Shaq. Because at this stage in Kareem's life, like, Kareem is Kareem. He's always been Kareem. Mm-hmm. Now, Kareem doesn't have to speak to nobody, but people look up to him. People have always looked up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for just the way LeBron carries himself. Kareem has carried himself in that same manner. Yeah. And for your idols to become your rivals, you don't want that to happen. So for him to clear the air of everything, give praise to LeBron, and even apologize to Shaq, and Shaq saying, I have no intention of beefing with the great because I always wanted to impress you. Like, it was a beautiful moment in sports yesterday, especially in basketball. Wish the Lakers could have won, but that's another topic.
First of all, it's kind of like a segue, but not really. But first of all, obviously, the ceremony took place in the middle of a basketball game, and you got to ask a 38-year-old man to, like, you get cold as an athlete. That's natural. The older you get, though, you get a lot colder, right? There was no way he was going to be able to, like, ramp that energy back up with all the emotion in his body. But Tell me what you thought about this with Anthony Davis. So, like, Anthony Davis did not show up last night. I don't know where he was. He was on the court, but I don't think he was mental. He wasn't physically there. I mean, he wasn't mentally there. And then people were talking about like him sitting on the bench while everything was happening. What did you read into it? Did you like see anything with his body language, his emotions, anything like that?
AD is one of those players that I truly I hate talking about now. Like, I don't know where his head is at. Like, is he a competitor? Is he not? Does he want to be there? Does he want to be involved? Is he really hurt? Is he not? Because I saw him fall yesterday and I was like, he shattered something. There was a play where he fell and I was like, God, he shattered something. But he got up, played the game. I know Twitter was going crazy when they were watching him walk around and like not even get emotional for that. Like, what does that say? But in the past, we've seen, the carelessness of Anthony Davis, the questioning of when's the last time you played? Well, I haven't played since April.
Yeah. Nonchalant, that's like, what it is.
I think in his mind, this was kind of like a fluke game. Like, they know what the mission was, to get LeBron past Kareem tonight. That was the mission. We can sit here and assume that winning the game would have been
Russell Westbrook didn't know that. Russell Westbrook was like, I'm gonna just do what I do, and LeBron gonna get his.
That's also his former team too. Like, he wants to bring the pain on his former team as well. But I saw at the end him and Darvin Ham getting into it because he kept subbing himself in and out of the game, like just in and out a lot, and that's not what Darvin Ham's game plan was. So him and Darvin Ham went at it too. So it just comes to show that the Lakers, as beautiful of a game that was, we can see that there's something lingering there. We don't know what it is. I know we saw LeBron and AD. I know we saw LeBron and AD like embrace each other when it happened, and they were cool and everything like that. But it's
upstairs. It's been like this, and I've said this before. Ever since Dr. Bus passed away, the team has been in shambles. Since he's passed away, they had one good year, and that was the bubble year. Every year before that, even with Kobe, and every year after that with LeBron, it's been a shit show because they don't know how to run their house. Like, and I love Jeannie Buss. More power to her. She's a beautiful woman. She's, I always promote women empowerment, but she has too many cooks in the kitchen. And I mean, Kurt Rambis is there, Linda Rambis is there, Phil Jackson be showing up every now and then. Her ex, just everybody just be showing up. I'm like, yo, you need to take care of your house. And with Kobe, she couldn't do it. With LeBron, she couldn't do it. I mean, LeBron brought him a championship, obviously, but still, it's like that took everything. That took everything that they had to win that championship, and it's been a shit show ever since. So we'll get to the trade deadline after we talk, Super Bowl. But yeah, at the end of the day, big ups to my dog LeBron. Damn, it's just a beautiful moment.
Well, speaking of Russ and all that right now, Lakers finally pulled the trigger and traded him.
What?
Yep.
What?
Lakers are finalizing it for Adrian Wojnarowski just said.
So Lakers it actually happened. That was going to be what I was going to talk about in the trade as a rumor. He about to get bought out. D'Angelo Russell's coming back.
D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt to the Lakers.
Oh.
Jazz will get Russell Wilson and a LA first-round pick, 2027. And the Timberwolves will get Mike Conley. So,
wow, that was what was being reported like 4 or 5 hours ago. I was like, all right, let's see if they actually do it. Wow.
Yeah. Look
at that.
I would like to see Mike Conley go to LA too, but it is what it is.
Where did they send Mike Conley?
To Minnesota.
Yeah, he'll stay. I was gonna say he'll get bought out. No, he'll stay in Minnesota. Malik Beasley and D'Angelo Russell.
And Jared Vanderbilt.
Yeah. They need 3-point shooting. Malik Beasley. All right. Now that we have that information, we're gonna get to the trade deadline at the end. This is fantastic news. Oh, LeBron, we could breathe a sigh of relief. Bye, Russ. This is crazy. All right. Before we get to the Super Bowl, I'm gonna just say real quick. I've watched maybe 90% of LeBron James basketball games since he started his career, and I'm not even kidding. I am that guy. Do you remember like your favorite like LeBron basket?
I don't even have a basket. I got my favorite LeBron moment. So hear this. EJ's cousin. I met EJ's cousin at his wedding, and EJ kind of dumped him on me. He's like, "Hey, my cousin's here from Turkey. Hang out with him." So like all summer, I got close to this kid. We were cool, hung out and shit. And he always wanted to do like shit that I couldn't just drop and go do because he really wasn't working. He was just chilling, whatever. So one day he's like, "Hey, let's go to a Magic game," and I was like, "Bro, like." No, I don't got time for that shit. It's like a Tuesday or something like that. He's like, come on, you say no to everything. He's like, and LeBron's in town. I was like, shit. LeBron's in town. I can't pass that up.
Yeah.
So we went to go watch the Magic play the Cleveland Cavaliers. So I gave him my LeBron jersey. And I wore a throwback champion Penny Hardaway jersey. Clean as shit. So we're sitting in our seats. Cavaliers are mopping up the Magic, and we walk out to the concessions to go get, something to drink, something to eat, whatever. And one of the guys down on the floor grabs me. He's like, "Hey man," he grabbed me because he saw me in the Penny jersey. He's like, "Hey man, do you want to take a half court shot?" And I was like, "Do I want to take a half court shot? Absolutely."
Yeah.
But here's where I fucked up. Me being the nice guy that I am, I knew the assignment. I was like, shit, let my boy over here take this shot. It's a once in a lifetime thing. He'll really enjoy it. So I was like, can we switch jerseys and let him take the shot? So I gave him the Penny jersey. I took the LeBron jersey, let him take the half court shot, and he completely like airballed it. Jokes on us. But the good news was we got to sit the rest of the time courtside and watch LeBron James play. So I got to sit there and watch it, and being that close to him, it was great, man. Like I saw crazy dunks, I saw great, assist kickouts to the outside for Kevin Love. Tristan Thompson was banging the boards. It was great. It was a good game, and they beat him by like 30 points or some shit like that. It was a shit show, but there's so many crazy LeBron moments that I remember seeing. I remember
that's vivid.
Yeah, against the Magic, but to say that I got to sit courtside at a game, pick to shoot a half court shot at a game where LeBron James was playing, and then I do something nice for a friend. But that was great for me, an experience in the building with LeBron James. So that's my LeBron moment. I mean, tell me yours. I want to.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm jealous, man. I've watched LeBron James play live a few times. Like my first basketball game I ever went to, like I didn't go to any basketball teams until I moved to Florida. And the first basketball game I went to was like his rookie or sophomore year. The tickets were like $8, by the way. It was like it was crazy back then. But yeah, for me, there's a few that I love. I loved when he went crazy against Milwaukee, like way back in the day. But like I was on the phone with Mike Conception, and it was the playoffs, and is when he hit the game-winning shot at the top of the key against your Orlando Magic. I remember I remember where I was. I was on the phone with Mike. I'm like, yo, I think LeBron's gonna do it. I think LeBron's gonna do it. But I was sitting in my mom's room on her bed because, like, whenever I watch sports, I like to be alone, and everybody was using all the TVs around the house. I'm like, I'm really gonna be in my mom's room. So I was watching in my mom's room, and then he made it, and I ran around the house on the phone, LeBron James, and that moment is like entrenched in my brain. Also, when he made that game with the shot against Golden State, a little step back on Andre Iguodala, yeah, I love that one too. But yeah, LeBron has a lot of moments, man. It's crazy, but yeah, I really wish I sat courtside for him though.
Hey man, that was great. I'll use the picture as my background next time too, from where I was sitting. It was dope, man.
That's dope, man.
It was great to see the rest of the game because we were like all the way up top, and the guys, I guess they felt bad, like, hey, there's open seats down here. It's the Magic, so just sit over here. And I try to see if there are any like Orlando celebrities, like Sammy's in the house, something like that, or somebody. But no, nobody was there. It was a bloodbath, and I got to watch it. Yeah, man. And just like you said, so many great moments, and we don't want to like recognize this man for his accomplishments. Like there's a laundry list of them, and people always be like, "Oh, well, he cramped up." Like it happens, man.
Okay.
It happens. Like
I want to go see you go play 82 game season and make it to multiple finals back to back to back, and just expect, oh yeah, I'm gonna be fine. Yes, shut the hell up, man. I'm tired of people. I don't want to talk about this anymore because I get worked up.
the problem is when before we go to the next side, the problem is always the narrative and the past. And the past. We have the infamous flu game of Michael Jordan. Okay, we have the infamous tear of the Achilles tendon of Kobe Bryant. We see the willingness to win then. But I mean, a cramped muscle, like you're gonna look at a man hobble up and down the court. You're gonna watch that. Like you could see the pain in his face. You could see him wanting to be on the floor. You could see him doing everything he could to get back out there and compete. But shit, it happens. And don't think that Spurs team was a slouch of a team, man, because those fuckers were shooting out the gym,
they
man.
made an NBA record 3-pointers in that NBA Finals. NBA record. And it wasn't even a 7-game series. And they made an NBA record within that small series. So yeah, goes to tell you, it wasn't like it was a fluke. And at that time, Dwayne Wade was starting, like his knees was bugging. Chris Bosh started disappearing. It was once again LeBron by himself. Like, damn, I gotta go beat Greg Popovich by myself. Like, you know how many times Greg Popovich beat the Kobe and Shaq Lakers? Like, damn, it's not easy to beat Tim Duncan. It's not easy to beat Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan. They were just a crazy duo. And that was the birth of Kawhi Leonard. So yeah, it was. What did you? I'm sorry. I gotta save my passion for the Eagles.
We should just say this all about LeBron. We should just talk all about LeBron.
I gotta save my passion for the Eagles because at the end of the day, I love LeBron, but the assignment is this weekend. So I'm just transitioning now. All right, Super Bowl Sunday. You know me, obviously. This is a crazy. I mean, first of all, when I saw us win the Super Bowl 5 years ago, I was like, man, I'm so happy that in my lifetime, I got to witness us win a Super Bowl. And I did not expect us to ever get back to a Super Bowl in my lifetime. I'm like, all right, cool. I made it. I did it. I can cross that off my bucket list and I'm good. The fact that we made it back to the Super Bowl in 5 years, I mean, I can't even like, I'm with a completely new team. Like, the only thing that stayed is part of our offensive line and part of our defensive line. That's it. Fletcher Cox, Brandon Graham, and then Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Our 4 old guys are still here, and we have a brand new football team back in the Super Bowl. So, you know, just to be in this game, first of all, is an honor. Now, obviously, you know, there's going to be a lot of press this week, and speaking of press, you heard about Michael Irvin?
Yeah, I saw that. NFL Network canceled all of his stuff because apparently he assaulted some chick or whatever. She's claiming that he assaulted her.
I hope that's not true because, like, I don't know, that's just bad timing with all that. But anyway, you know, there's going to be a lot of coverage. You know, obviously there's going to be the Kelsey Bowl story. Their mother, by the way, she's such a fantastic human being. You can just see how proud she is. Obviously, the Andy Reid connection. You know, it's just 2 black quarterbacks. So there's a lot of different storylines. Now for you, obviously, you know, you don't really have a vested interest in the game unless you put money on it or something like that. But like, you know, before we get to our predictions and all that stuff, kind of just talk about, you know, what you're gonna see, what you've seen so far this week. You know, what players you're looking forward to seeing, like how they're gonna react to the moment. Just, you know, just give me a little breakdown of what you break down.
First of all, shame on you for saying I don't have a vested interest because I've been telling you all year I've been rocking with your Eagles, man.
Listen,
from week 3, I've been on the Eagles bandwagon.
I'm gonna just say this, okay? I'm so used to people preying on my downfall, so I just assume that everybody hates my football team. So
yeah, but you can't pray that against me. You know, when the Knicks and the Sixers play, I'm gonna give you the shit talking. You'll circle your records, send me the text message. But hey, man, let me live in my moments, okay? Just
Hey,
let me live in my moments. So, it's gonna be a great Super Bowl. I feel like these are the two teams we wanted to see in the final. You know, the last game were the divisional championships. Those were the two teams that were supposed to be there, and the four teams that were supposed to be there.
Conference championships.
Conference championships, yeah. And the winners. Excuse me, and the winners are the ones that I think everybody perceived to be the correct winners to come out of it.
You know what that means, right? The script was actually right. The script was actually right.
Arian Foster somewhere like, yeah, baby. So it's gonna be a great Super Bowl, I think. And I try and stay off of social media and hear the talking heads talk about all of these opinions, because I think you're starting to pick my drift on sports.
I do the same thing.
It's the narrative.
I don't even waste my time listening to any of this shit.
The only guy that I really like listening to is Rich Eisen now.
I really like Rich Eisen. I know I did.
You did. I've always known about the guy, but I've been getting big into the show now.
I love Rich Eisen. Agree with him.
The only thing I do not agree with him that he said is like, who have the Eagles really played this year?
I don't want to.
Who have they really played?
I want us to be dominant.
I don't.
I want that.
My issue with that is the game of sports happens and the cards fall a certain way. Mm-hmm. Just like you said last week, if your quarterback came out the game and couldn't be there, Simon is to protect the quarterback, so that doesn't happen. He didn't. Took advantage of it, you won. So
you say you got Trent Williams, the greatest left tackle of all time. I couldn't tell. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
All right. So we're gonna see two star-studded offenses, and one really good defense, and a defense with like one really good player. So
one really good player, one pretty good player. I think Frank Clark's pretty good.
Frank Clark,
he's pretty good. Chris Jones is phenomenal.
Chris Jones doesn't get the love and the credit he deserves. But with all the firepower that, and I've told you all year, Philly is the most complete team in the NFL. They are the most complete team. Knock on wood, they've been healthy all year. There hasn't been any issues. And it's the last game of the season. So if the trajectory is them and they're still going up, you got to look at Pat Mahomes. Like, Pat Mahomes isn't no slouch. We did see him play bad in the Super Bowl, but his bad game wasn't because of his play. It was because he had no O-line, and the Bucs defense was just getting to him and getting to him and getting to him because that's what they had.
Now they didn't have Orlando Brown back then.
Yeah, Orlando Brown, Joe Thuney, whoever else they drafted and put up there, but they're all good now. They've got that shit figured out, and those boys are all healthy too. So, Patrick Mahomes is no slouch. Like I said, he can pick apart a defense. He's one of those guys that we have to appreciate how good he is. He's been able to do it time in and time out against great defenses. So, I'm really looking forward to the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts may be one of my new favorite players. He's always been one of my favorite players, like just watching him. But the more I see, the more I hear him, the way he carries himself at a young age, I'm not comparing them talent-wise or anything. I'm talking about the way that they carry themselves. It's very LeBron James-esque.
I was gonna say the same thing. Don't worry. I compare him to LeBron James. That's why I love him so much. His leadership is crazy.
Leadership, accountability, the way he speaks about everything, the game, himself, his team, the way he leads. He's an old soul, and it's great to see that. I want that for a football team like Philly. Who's going through an identity crisis at the quarterback position. Do we keep Carson Wentz? Do we roll with Nick Foles? Do we cut ties with that? Do we start this?
Think about it. Since Donovan McNabb, it's just been a revolving door.
It has.
Revolving door. Like, we need somebody stable, and I think we finally got that guy. So I'm real happy that we got him. Now, do you think the moment's going to be too big for him, though?
He played at Bama. I don't think so. A quarterback at Bama, And let me justify that one more time. Good quarterbacks that come from Bama.
Yeah.
Not like your AJ McCarrons and stuff like that. Like this guy, time in and time out, has been there and showed up. So it is a big moment. I think he can stand the test of time. I think we're going to get a very good Super Bowl game. And the crazy part is the one guy that I'm looking to make the biggest difference in this game. You're going to love this.
Number 7.
Son Reddick, baby.
Let's go. What did I tell you?
I was like, you're just fucking homer right now. You're riding that wave. The numbers didn't lie. I get it. But after I saw that play he made in San Francisco, I was like, this guy is hungry. This guy is hungry. And we've all known he's a great player since he was in Arizona and then did his one stint with the Panthers, and now he's with Philly. Like we know he's a good player. But he's gonna make the biggest impact for the Eagles, I think. Because the name of the game is getting to Patrick Mahomes on defense.
That's what we got to do.
That's what you're gonna have to do, and get through that line, and that guy's hungry. So he made Trent Williams, the best left tackle in football, look like a scrub out there, man, basically. So yeah, and another crazy stat that I keep seeing that people keep talking about. And once again, I don't give a fuck, because I know the assignment for Kansas City was to replace a Tyreek Hill. That's a big thing to replace. If he was there, he probably wouldn't have went and got all these weapons.
Yeah.
But to see the homegrown talent that Philadelphia has on offense.
Oh, we were talking about MVS real quick. Yeah, go Bulls, by the way.
No, but I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, every move that Kansas City made, it wasn't great, but it was complementary pieces.
Yeah.
But the homegrown talent that Philadelphia has had and kept and is out there, drafted quarterback. Everybody on that team that's on offense is homegrown except A.J. Brown. That's the only guy they went out and got. And hats off to you guys for sticking with your players, because like
technically Zach Pascal too, but he doesn't really play. You know, he's a blocker.
Yeah, but he's not a starter. He's not one of your starters. So yeah. So
but you're right, Dallas Goedert, Miles Sanders,
the whole O line is all grown. So
we even got our left tackle. We got in the 7th round from New Zealand. Never played a lick of football.
Yeah, it's going to be a great Super Bowl. I'm really looking forward to this, because you're having the baby goat being born right now in Patrick Mahomes, and we're seeing the budding star that is Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, this man, like, you can't root against him. He's literally been the underdog everywhere he has gone.
Yeah.
Like, I went through it on the last episode. I'm not going through it again. Listen to the last episode. All the shit and adversary this guy's gone through. Root for him. Root for him to fucking win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, where my mind is going to be, you know, is Jalen Hurts going to be able to keep up with Mahomes? But at the same time, the end of the day, you know, I've been saying this since the summer. Like, I'm never confident about my Eagles. Right? Like, I'm very pessimistic. I'm a fair weather fan sometimes. I'm always giving the worst case scenarios and negative and everything like that. And again, I'm knocking on wood and I'm praying to the universe that, you know, everything goes how it's supposed to go in my head. I look at our football team and I said it in August, I said it in September. Fast forward, I'm saying in January, now February. Where are the holes? O-line, got it. D-line, got it. Linebackers, got it. Secondary, got it. Offense, wide receivers, got them. Quarterback, now we got it. Running backs, now we got it. It's like tight end, it's like coach, like, what was his name? The guy from the Giants was talking all that shit about Nick Sirianni. Yo, people have been talking shit about Nick Sirianni because ever since his crazy press conference. I know his press conference was weird. So is Dan Campbell's. But you see how the players all like gravitate around that crazy coach? It's like when you have that kind of command of the locker room and the guys can like buy into you. I don't care how good your team is. You need buy-in from the players to the head coach. LaShawn McCoy was talking about it on on Speak on FS1 like a week ago when what was his name, Julian Phillips, whatever, made that comment. He was like, "Look, it's not just they're talented, great, but the coach needs to be good because remember back in the day when the Eagles, when we had our dream team." And we had Nnamdi Asomugha, and we had
oh my God,
Vince
yeah,
Young and Mike Vick, and who we had a running back, DeMarco Murray. We got everybody.
Ronnie Brown, DeMarco Murray.
We got everybody. We had a Rogers Cromartie. Though we had everybody. You know what our record was that year? 4-12. 4-12. That's how we got. I think it was Lane Johnson or Jason Kelce from that draft. 4-12. So talent means absolutely nothing if you don't have the right guy up top and on the sideline making the right decision. So, obviously Andy Reid.
And one thing I'll say too is I've been hearing everybody say it, and you said it first. Everybody's been saying Howie Roseman has put on a master class this offseason. Everybody is. I've heard Bart Scott say it. I've seen Mike Greenberg say it. I've heard it's the guy on the Herd. What's his name?
Colin Cowherd.
I've heard him say it. Like,
I said that in March of last year, if I'm not mistaken. Hold up. You know what? I like to verify my sources because you know me. I'm very statistics and all that stuff, right? I said the first time I started using the word masterclass for Howie Roseman was on April 28th. April 20, mind you, that's if I spelled that right. So yeah, April 28th, I was like, oh shit, masterclass. And I said it every month until the season started. Again, I'm never confident. This was the most confident I ever felt about the Philadelphia Eagles going into a season. That's how I know that we're supposed to be in this game. And I hope that we play well and no one gets hurt on both the Chiefs or the Eagles. I don't hate the Chiefs. I want them to play well as well. I want it to be a good game. Obviously I would want to blow them out. That'd be fantastic. So I can, start popping the champagne early. But I just don't see the holes. And the only thing that gives me any kind of concern is the fact that they have Patrick Mahomes. If they had, I don't know, anybody else, maybe Joe Burrow, and that's the only other guy I'd be like, all right. Like, outside of those two right now, I don't think it's like nobody gives me any fear against this football team. So it's like I'm feeling real confident. I think we're going to run the ball well. The Chiefs defensively, they're not nothing special. They got a lot of youngsters on the team. Jarius Sneed is a little banged up, and that's their best corner. Their second best corner is a rookie, McDuffie. Devontae Smith is going to eat him alive. The Heisman winner, Devontae Smith, is going to eat him alive. And then if he gets switched on to A.J. Brown is going to manhandle him. And then Dallas Goedert is going to get into his spots. I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel good, man. I just don't want to jinx it, obviously, so I'm trying to keep my emotions here. But this year, they ranked 22nd in defense this year. Like, how am I going to, we rank top 3 in offense and defense, and they rank 22nd in defense. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't see the scenario in which we screw this up unless we try to get too cute. And Nick Sirianni does not appear to me to be that type. Like Doug Peterson, he was somebody who liked to get too cute sometimes. That's what made us good, but at the same time, that's what screwed us up a lot. Andy Reid, in the past, he liked to get too cute, and that used to screw us up. But that's also what made us good. Nick Sirianni, that dude is not too cute. He'll run the ball on 4th and 3. Like, he's all about smash mouth football and play to your strengths. Like, I love everything that we're doing. Our offensive line coach is going to be sticking around. We're probably going to lose our offensive coordinator. But, and he did Steichen. He did a fantastic job this year. But I'm so proud of this team. I think the big thing is that we got to go get that. We got to get the quarterback. Got to go get the quarterback. If we get the quarterback, it might be a route. No, I'm just playing. I'm not playing, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, are there any other intriguing matchups for you? Like, you're going to be paying attention to, like, this position versus that position?
The big one, of course, is quarterback on quarterback. 2 black quarterbacks in February going, of course.
And I lied. The Chiefs' defense was not that bad. Their scoring defense was
this year
16th. Yeah, they weren't bad. 16th, middle of the pack.
Middle of the, I said mid. They're like a mid defense.
Yeah, they were mid.
But they're younger. They're younger. What they needed. They need to get younger. Losing the Honey Badger was a big thing for them. But he's nowhere to be seen. I didn't hear his name all year.
I mean, he played in over the cap New Orleans Saints, who are not going to be looking at Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, matchup.
You know me, I love my USC receiver. So, USC boy Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm looking for him to have a good game.
Against who? Think Bradbury or Slay? You think he can do it?
Hey, listen, Homer, relax. I'm gonna start texting you during the game. Shit happens. Also, we got USF Bull in the game. So I'm looking for the matchup between the receivers and the secondary in this game, because we know what you have on the field, but Kansas City on the opposite end has a lot of young dogs on the secondary. Yeah. So let's see if drafting those guys and getting these young players are going to be able to hang with the likes of an AJ Brown, with the likes of a Devontae Smith.
Yeah, they didn't get a Sauce or a Wooler. They got they got the other guys.
They got back-to-back picks at the end of the first round, and they used him on offensive line and on a secondary guy. So it wasn't like the Bucks that are like, we're going to get another linebacker, when you need to go address that secondary, just get the things that you need. So, we'll see what happens, man. I'm intrigued by it. But the running game for Kansas City is what's like puzzling to me, because we don't know who that guy is. I think it's Pacheco. I think the dude has been fresh legs coming right out and ready to roll.
I like Jared McKinnon a lot, personally.
Jared McKinnon too, man. He's a good catch and run back, but we don't know what it's going to be, and that's the mystery of Andy Reid. Hell, he could throw Clyde Edwards-Helaire in there, and we could see some mix of him too.
Yeah, and that's where my matchup is going to be Nick Sirianni versus Andy Reid, because at the end of the day, the players are going to play, right? But the Super Bowl is about who's going to outcoach the other Super Bowl. Like, who's going to kick the onside kick coming out of halftime? Who's going to go for it on fourth and run the Philly special? Who's gonna? It's always that close when you have two talented teams like this in the Super Bowl. The Super Bowls are either a blowout or a really good game. It's never like an average. It's always a massive blowout or a really close game. So this one's to me is gonna be about coaching, and obviously Andy Reid is to me the greatest coach of all time. Bill Belichick is fantastic, most winningest coach, most accomplished coach. But to me, what Andy Reid has done is phenomenal. But it's going to come down to that, because at the end of the day, like you said, we don't even know what running back's going to come out the backfield, and they don't expect us to know. So, we might see MVS run the football. Like, there's going to be a lot of trick plays that they do. They're going to do a lot of, and Patrick Mahomes is very improvising and improvisational, is that the word? He's always going to come up with some Houdini shit to do, right? So we're going to have to obviously look out for that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to who's going to have their team more prepared, and who's going to make the first, wow, I can't believe they did that. Because, like, if you remember when we played against the Patriots, people forget New England ran the Philly special in like the first or second quarter. Tom Brady just could not catch the football. And then we came back and ran the same exact play. Like, nobody, it's like, that's so funny to me that we were like, Doug Peterson is so, I don't give a shit. I'm going to run the same exact play. And Nick Foles is an athlete and Tom Brady's not. Tom Brady's a statue. Nick Foles played basketball in high school. So, yeah, there you go. So, it's going to come down to just who's going to, damn, they really did that. Who's going to have the first return for a touchdown or something crazy. That's what you're going to be looking for. And it's all, to me, is going to come down from your special teams coach, your defensive coordinator. How are we going to dial it? Are we going to blitz? Are we not going to blitz? we can get to Patrick Mahomes before. Obviously, we've proven that all season with Mahomes, and I mean with Hassan Reddick, Fletcher Cox, the Grave Digger, Hargraves, Brandon Graham, old ass, still had double-digit sacks. It's just we're gonna keep coming. We're gonna keep coming. The Dominican Sue is there now. Linval Joseph is there now. They ain't gonna run the ball on us. Jordan Davis, like our middle is all fat people, and our outsides are all athletic people. So it's like they got to beat us in the air. So we'll see. We'll see. But you ready for predictions?
Whew. Oh man.
Give me like the game flow first, and then it concludes with your final score.
You know me, I'm always a field goal guy. By a field goal.
Here we go. 24-21 or some shit like that.
27-24. I'm gonna go Eagles. Eagles score the first touchdown.
You putting money on that?
No.
You doing squares or something like that?
No. I think Eagles will score the first touchdown. I think Patrick Mahomes gets behind, but gets it close at halftime. Rihanna does a banging ass halftime. Eagles go silent in the third. Mahomes comes alive. Eagles score in the fourth. Mahomes tries to come back. And that's how it's going to be.
That's been the script for the Eagles all season. We score in the first drive. We kind of lull a little bit. We go crazy in the second quarter, and they do absolutely nothing in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, we're just like holding off for dear life. Jalen Hurts makes a couple big plays, and then we win. So what you said, 27-24, Philadelphia? Is it a game-winning field goal, or they just happen to win by 3 points?
Happen to win by 3 points, and Patrick Mahomes tries to claw it in to get into field goal range, but none of that 4th and 9 calls.
Yeah, we're not letting that shit happen. We're gonna get that, man. Okay. I like that. 27-24. That's a good score. I can see that. So Vegas, I wish Vegas didn't have us favored in this game. I really don't want to be favored. I need as much extra motivation as we need. So I want somebody. I'm about to go like pay somebody from Philly to go dress up as a Kansas City fan and go put a Patrick Mahomes jersey on Rocky so that we can be pissed off and break something. I don't want to break no one's arm because I love Patrick Mahomes, but we're gonna test that ankle out, my boy. We're gonna have to. It's football. But I think we're gonna get out. I think we're the best. We're the best first drive team like in the NFL. Like we've converted so many touchdowns on our first drive. I think we did 12 of the 17 games, or 13 of the 17 games, which is in the regular season, which is phenomenal. So I think we're gonna get off to a good start. We're gonna score early, and then it's just gonna come down to how long are we gonna be able to hold off Mahomes. Obviously, he's been there, done that. I think Jalen Hurts will have some jitters, though. So I think we're going to run the ball really well in the beginning to kind of set him up for the pass, even though, like Nick Sirianni likes to pass the ball heavy or early to set him up for the run in the second half. So we'll see if the philosophy changes a little bit. But I predicted the score mentally last week, and I've stuck to the same score in my head for about 12 days now. Maybe not that long, maybe 11 days, whatever, 10 days. I've had the score this whole time. It's just 31-21. Philadelphia Eagles take home the what's the Super Bowl trophy called?
It's the Lombardi Trophy.
Lombardi, stupid. I'm so stupid. Because I heard LeBron say Larry O'Brien Trophy like 7 times this week. So Larry O'Brien is still stuck in my head. So yeah, the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And then Jalen Hurts gets Super Bowl MVP with 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 touchdowns on the ground. And we scored 31 points. And we win the Super Bowl. And I pop a bottle of Vouv at the end. And hooray, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's going to be a good game. Who would you have as your MVP if you're picking the Eagles? Shit,
gotta have my MVP.
Crazy, but yeah.
Miles Sanders, because he had
I thought Miles Sanders too, because Yo, he's been a dog this year, and it's a contract year, like you said. But it's also a contract year for Jalen Hurts, essentially, because they're going to pay him this year. We don't have a choice. So we're about to be bad next year because we ain't going to be able to afford all these good players. But if we can get one out of it, we'll be all right. And the reason why I think we're gonna do actually really well is because I think we modeled this team after what Seattle did in 2012, 13, whatever, with Russell Wilson. Because Howie Roseman said it when the reason why he drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round, even though like all the draft boards had him going like third and fourth round, is because he wanted Russell Wilson so badly in that draft, but he figured he could just wait an extra round, and then Seattle came and drafted him. So he said he didn't want to make that mistake again, and he got his guy, and then he built an amazing defense, a high flying offense, and now look what we have. So I think we're going to kind of replicate that Seattle model. I think we win the Super Bowl this year, and then we come back next year. Don't run the ball on the 1 yard line, and Patrick Mahomes wins the Super Bowl next year. But we're gonna get him this year. We're gonna get him this year. So 31-21, fly Eagles fly. The Phillies let me down a couple months ago, making it all the way and not closing it. Please don't let me down, Eagles. Like I've had a very good karma with sports lately, but then at the end, Michigan let me down, Philly let me down. So like LeBron passed the scoring record and then they lost. It's like, damn, I need somebody to just bring it all the way home. So let's go, Eagles. Damn, I'm nervous, but yeah, 31-21. Let's get it. All right. All right. We broke the news on the Fair Weather podcast. Damn, I wish we was doing this shit live, like on YouTube or something like that. We need to look into that, Tony Sports. You need to help us with that. But anyway, you broke the news. We're gonna talk NBA trade deadline. The first thing I was gonna talk about was like, yo, what the hell is the Lakers gonna do with Russell Westbrook? And then you broke the news. Can you please repeat the news that you broke?
All right, so it's a three-team trade. Russell Westbrook is going to Utah with a lightly first round pick in 2027 from the Lakers.
Only
Malik
one
Beasley. Pick? Yeah, one pick.
Oh, okay.
Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt, and D'Lo are all going to LA, and Mike Conley is going to Minnesota. So,
you know what's funny?
Lakers.
If you like brought some tape out from like a few years ago and brought like a game of D'Lo versus Spencer Dinwiddie, they'd be wearing the same uniform that they're wearing now. Since Spencer Dinwiddie's back in Brooklyn, and then my boy D'Lo's back in LA. They should go get Brandon Ingram for now. Like, yo, let's just bring the whole gang back. Julius Randle, let's go. Like, they should have basically. I think this kind of proved they should have just never broke that shit up and just let LeBron lead that group. But anyway, continue.
Oh, apparently there's more in here. That's good.
Talk to me.
So apparently, Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to the Timberwolves. Juan Toscano-Anderson, Damian Jones are both going to Utah as well.
Oh, they got rid of Juan Toscano. Oh, that sucks. Feel bad for him.
That sucks, man. I like the guy.
Yeah, he's like a journeyman kind of already now, but he's like a young, like, first of all, whatever happened to Taylor Horton Tucker? Like, he got sent to Utah. I had not heard his name all season long. Is he good?
No, he wasn't good.
Damn.
The real story is like, Minnesota here, like they went and got D'Lo for Cat because Cat was feeling some type of way. He wanted his boy. They advocated for that.
That's right.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
Didn't work. And
it can't work because you have Anthony Edwards. It's like, how that's going to work? You need somebody like a Mike Conley.
D'Lo is not the answer. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like this move for the Lakers. I would have rather Mike Conley. Like, I don't trust the decision making along with the mindset of D'Lo, because look how short his tenure was in Golden State. Like, just wanted him. They just did that just to
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Golden State, when I talk about masterclass, their front office have been putting a masterclass on for the last decade. Like the way they've been able to
Yeah.
maneuver the cap. Obviously they've been in the luxury tax, but like the way they've been able to draft. Obviously, Wiseman it hasn't worked out, but the fact that they had that pick in the first place is crazy. Wiggins obviously came
Yeah.
through. Yeah, but anyway,
But even at that, the signing of Rudy Gobert, you would have thought this team was going to make a run after last year.
I didn't think so.
But this, I mean, I didn't either, man.
You know how I feel about Rudy Gobert. I cannot stand that dude. So,
yeah. I'm on the same. I think we're on the same page about Rudy Gobert. But I mean, when you look at it on paper, it looks like the makings of what did you need? You needed a big down low or some guy to grab rebounds because there weren't. Cat thinks he's a 3-point shooter, and Cat hasn't been there all year. And D'Lo, I haven't heard his name once at all, and it's just been Anthony Edwards saying some dumb shit or having a highlight reel. So Minnesota is
we're gonna talk about
a
Memphis,
question
by the
mark. Yeah, we can talk about all these teams.
I definitely want to talk about Memphis. Like, yeah, continue.
So out of all of those, who's coming out on top? Obviously, we think Russ will get bought out by Utah. So the Lakers are getting Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, and D'Lo. Young presence there is what the Lakers really
what
need.
they desperately needed. Yes.
Jazz are getting Russ, Damian Jones, first round pick, and Juan Toscano Anderson. And I think it's just Mike Conley and who's the other guy I said that is going to
Nickeil Alexander.
Nickeil Alexander.
I think this
we thought was going to be something good.
This helps Minnesota a lot because they needed a point guard to help Anthony Edwards out. Like it's hard. Like I looked at when Devin Booker got Chris Paul and how Devin Booker's game just evolved because he had a Chris Paul. That's what Anthony Edwards needs. He needs a point guard. And remember, like when Drew Holiday got to Minnesota, Middleton got better. Giannis got better. Everybody got Bobby Portis got better. Everybody got better because they had a point guard. I think Minnesota needed a grown up in that locker room. They had nobody. Like Patrick Beverly was a grown up last year, but it's Patrick Beverly. But now they gotta have a mature guy who's been reliable. He's been snubbed from All-Star games and all this shit his whole career. But anyway, I think this is good for Minnesota. Now, we're looking at the Utah Jazz aspect of it. Danny Ainge, we never know what his angle is, but he has a lot of picks. Them in Oklahoma City, they go for the next 10 years. They gonna have every pick in the draft. So once they land that guy, whoever gets Wembanyama, whoever gets Scooter, like whoever gets that guy, it's going to be because of the amount of picks that they accumulated, or unless they're able to package it for an all-star or something like that. But so Utah, I'm not really going to pay attention to what they're doing over there from a basketball standpoint this year. But we're focused on this year. I look at the Lakers. Last night watching that game, it was very alarming how horrible they played defensively. And it was SGA, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, bro. Nobody could guard him. Like he was cooking Anthony Davis, he was cooking Patrick Beverly, he was cooking Troy Brown. He cooked everybody. So they're going to need to.
My new favorite game to play with the Oklahoma City Thunder is Name That Williams.
Yeah, Stan Van Gundy and the other guy, they kept using that line too much. Like, oh, Jay Williams. I'm like, all right, cool, I get it. I understand there's 3 Williams on the court.
The kid from Arkansas is a baller, though. I saw him play with Sammy at the Lightning Stadium when they had the SEC championship there. And
that's right, you was there, yeah.
He was balling, and he looked good. He's 6'10", shot. Every time he shot a 3 was in, man. I was
like, they could not miss from 3. Mike Muscala, that dude. I'm like, golly, y'all just chill out. Like, why y'all ruining my dog's night? But anyway, but yeah, they need a defensive wing player, in my opinion. I think they're not going to be. I don't think they're done. We're looking at the Lakers roster now. They still have a lot of guards. Like, it's not they got rid of Kendrick Nunn to go get Hachimura. And then they added more guards again. Obviously, Westbrook was not working out. I think what Westbrook brought for them was a lot of energy off the bench. And I really am very curious where Russell Westbrook goes.
They're saying already, they're already predicting buyout and to Los Angeles Clippers.
Okay, cool. That'd be great. I want him to go to the Clippers. Go ruin that shit up. That's fine. Damn. Damn. Him and John Wall.
That's your word perfect.
Him and John Wall. That's fantastic. All right. I don't know, man. I'm looking at it. So the roster right now, we got LeBron, AD, D'Lo, Beverly, Thomas Bryant, Malik Beasley. I do like him. He's a good defensive player. He can shoot the three.
When he's not doing dumb shit off the court, but yes.
Yeah, I know. And Larsa Pippen on top of that. Anyway, do you ever watch Vanderbilt? Did you ever like pay attention to like his game? Like
he's been like a budding star as of lately. I remember he was a high draft pick and he was just vanilla yogurt, like nothing great, but like
what is wrong with vanilla yogurt? Vanilla yogurt is good.
It's just plain, but like in Minnesota, like he's carved a role for himself. So he's a good rotational player.
What's this? Let me see what his statistics have been looking like.
I would say 12-6 or 12-7.
Where he shoot the three or not?
I don't know if he shoots the three.
Let's see.
Minnesota's boring.
Yeah, this regular season he's averaging 8 points, 33% from the three. He doesn't shoot the three that much though. 8 rebounds, so 8 and 8. I mean, for his career, he hasn't averaged more than this. Is like a career from him. He's only averaging 8 points a game, 24 minutes. He's a young body, he's a young guy. So we'll see what LeBron can make of that. He's a Kentucky Wildcat, so at the end of the day, there's some talent there, right? Yeah. I don't know. It's like the trade needed to be done because Russell Westbrook needed to get out of that locker room. His $47 million is now off the table now, so they don't got to worry about that no more. LeBron needs some shooters, but he also needs somebody to play some defense and guard somebody else's best player because he can't be scoring 30 points a game at age 38 and you still expect him to go lock up everybody. Like, what do y'all expect from this man? Like, I know he's superhuman, but he ain't Superman. So I think the Lakers still need to make a move. I do like what Minnesota did. I like it for Anthony Edwards a lot. I feel like Anthony Edwards needs this to make that next step. I think if obviously
what do we preach always? What do we always preach?
Get a vet.
Get the vet. That's the right vet to get. That's the right vet to go get.
Exactly. And you look at that locker room. Obviously, Patrick Beverly did something for them last year, and he's a crazy vet. Now we got a good vet. And side note, who's the player that got hurt that's not going to be coming for the Western All-Star team? Because there's going to be an opening there.
Zion and Steph. That's what it is. So
both of them. I know Anthony Edwards and De'Aaron Fox were like names that were brought up. I mean, have you heard like who might be the replacements? Because I think Anthony Edwards wants to be an All-Star. If he doesn't get it this year, I think if they still have Mike Conley next year, I think he's going to have like a Devin Booker year where he just goes the hell off.
I think Anthony Edwards deserves it, and I think Klay Thompson should be the other one.
Klay Thompson has been going. He's back. He's healthy.
I told you. He's been.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
He's been low key balling. Like he would be my second one to be on the All-Star team. Yeah. It would be both of those guys.
And speaking of teams that need a vet, though, can we talk about the Memphis Grizzlies real quick?
Yeah.
All right, man. So when Ja Morant got to the league, I was a huge Ja Morant supporter. I'm like, Ja Morant. He's gonna be one of my next favorite players.
I'm over
all that stuff, right?
I'm over him now.
It's not even just him. I wanted to wrap my arms around this Memphis Grizzlies team. I really did. Like, they were young. They were competing with Golden State. Like, all right, here we go. Here they come. They've accomplished.
They haven't accomplished anything.
And the way that they act and the way that they present themselves, you would think that they've won a championship. And now they're all talking about, oh, everybody hates us. You got Ja Morant got shooters in his car. Dylan Brooks called Shannon Sharp a blogger and a pedestrian.
Dylan Brooks is ruining his NBA career. That's all I can
I
say.
don't think he is.
I
He's trying to take on that Draymond Green, I don't give a shit role. He's just
he is.
not good enough yet to do that.
It's not even that. I don't think he's that good. I thought he was going to be the second best player on that team until Desmond Bain showed up. If there's anything I like about Desmond Bain, he's nowhere to be seen. Like
Yeah,
he's
quiet.
definitely the quietest one. He's the biggest one on the team, and he's the quietest one. So for him, I'm impressed with his game. But Brandon Clark, Dylan Brooks, John Morant, um, Steve Adams, I like him. I got no term.
And that's the thing. Steve Adams has been hurt the last couple of weeks, and they've been dog shit since he got hurt. So we talk about him like, oh, he's the veteran, even though he's like in his 20s. But he really held it down for them. So once he comes back, maybe we'll see a shift again. Danny Green is not playing. I don't know if he's gonna have if he's like that guy that's going to get everybody to chill out. I remember they traded for Iguodala or whatever, and then Iguodala never wanted to play for him, and then they called Iguodala a bitch or whatever. So I don't know, man. Like this Memphis team, they need.
I'm like I was like you. I was like I'm really enjoying this team. I like the budding stars, the being able to hang with the bigs, the shit talking they're doing. It's not chaotic. It's not whatever, but Dylan Brooks has single-handedly made me hate this team. And then
crazy, right?
yeah, and then that night in LA, with Shannon Sharp,
my uncle.
Yeah, that took it over the top for me. And then Ja's actions, the way he carries, like that just shows immaturity to me.
Yeah,
that shows immaturity. And I like, Nike giving him his own shoe.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the new face of Nike type thing, kind of like how Kyrie's shoe was the highest selling shoe, but he wasn't the face of Nike. But
I already miss Kyrie having that shoe again.
And we can talk about Kyrie soon.
Yeah, we're gonna get some Mavericks.
But the way he answers questions, we're getting ready for Boston. Like, no, you're not, bro. You got to go through the whole West.
Ever since he made that comment, they've been dog shit. Because first of all, at the end of the day, the one thing that's going to humble you is the game, right? You can talk all the shit that you want, but the game has to be played. And obviously the West is not as strong as it used to be, but to disrespect Steph Curry, to disrespect Jokic, to disrespect Dame Lillard. Side note, Dame Lillard has started to look like top 75 again. Like I was questioning that top 75 for a while. That dude is an elite.
Dame is good.
He's elite.
Dame is good.
Scorer. But anyway, like to disrespect all the guys that
we don't even talk about all the shit Dame does. Dame's had like 250-point games this year already.
I know. Yo, Dame's on another level right now. He's on another level right now. Dame is crazy. But like they haven't done shit, and they want to like act like they've already accomplished it. We're worried about Boston.
And the other thing I was going to get to is like John Morant with his homeboys and stuff. Like, get some new friends, bro.
Bro, you need to grow up.
Like, put that shit behind you.
Yeah, you got to grow up.
Like LeBron kept the right people in his group and grew with them as a brand and kept the right people there. The rest of them, they're gone, man.
You think Rich Paul was putting guns out of his car to the Indiana Pacers? You think Mav Carter, like, no, they all are like he's an agent, big agent. He's a movie producer. He's this guy. He's like, they got a squad under LeBron's camp, and John Morant got goons. Oh no, they're my homeboys. No, they're not your homeboys. Well, because when you're broke, they ain't your homeboys no more. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. They really disappointed me how they've handled these last year and a half or whatever. I'm just, I'm looking at their, you were talking about their players. Desmond Bain's averaging 21, Ja's 27, Jaren Jackson is 16. So Dylan Brooks is averaging 15 points a game. He's obviously like their defensive wing guy, but I don't know, man. He's just, I don't know. It's just that team, man. It's just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, some doesn't smell right.
Like, I actually miss Zion. Like I want to like Zion's a fun basketball. Like he loves playing basketball. He just can't stay healthy because he's too big. But you could just see the joy in his face. And he don't look at somebody who's going to have shooters in his car, because he looks like somebody who cares about his image. He went to Duke for crying out loud. Oh, I mean, Kyrie went to Duke too. But anyway, Speaking of Kyrie, the trade happened. When we were on the show last week, had he even already demanded the trade yet?
No, it was the next day he
It was the
requested to
next
be
day.
traded.
So between us, our episode last week and our episode this week, he's already demanded a trade. They didn't allow him to play the next game, and within 2 days, my man is a Dallas Maverick with Luka Doncic. Please, I need first of all, what was your reaction to it, and how do you know what do you assess from the Mavericks moving forward?
I got some bad news for Kyrie. If he thinks Mark Cuban is Cuban, he's Jewish. So watch what you say, bro. um, it doesn't surprise me. Kyrie is the most puzzling person in the world. Like, we have the Dos Equis man, who's the most interesting man in the world, and then you have Kyrie, the other most interesting man in the world, because of the way he processes and uh, disseminates what he's thinking to the crowd. So, Kyrie has a history of ransacking a team and destroying it. Like, let's be honest. He did it in Cleveland. That was his first stop.
He went to played 7 games.
Yeah, well, whatever. College, that happens. That's inevitable for any kid to do that in college. You strong arm, get what you can, and go. Cleveland, he did it because he wanted to be the focal point. Well, you got your wish. You go to Boston, you say you're going to resign, and that implodes. You leave, you go to Brooklyn, you get KD, and you get James Harden. You have possibly the greatest big three ever, and
offensively at least.
Played 13 games with each other, 16 games, something like that. Didn't work. James Harden jumped ship, and now Kyrie has jumped ship. Like, Kyrie, I don't understand. And Mark Cuban, think about it. Just think about it when you get him. Like, I know you want to sign him to a 2-year deal and keep him there, but Mark Cuban is clean. He's squeaky clean in the media. He's well liked. He's a good owner. He's definitely for his ride or die for his team. He's got the right piece in Luka there. I know he wants to see how Luka can, they have the 2 best ball handlers in the NBA supposedly now. I hope it works for him.
I mean, what do you think stylistically? Like, how does it look on the court?
It looks like Luka's going to be the primary, in my opinion. It would be Luka being the primary ball holder, ball handler of the ball coming up court, and Kyrie is going to be a wing. Kyrie's going to be out on the end, and he's going to be shooting a lot more now. That's how I see it happening. But we could get a hybrid role where they both do that, because Luka's got size. Luka's got size to get down there, but Kyrie also can cut and get into the paint. We'll see what happens. I hope it works, but Kyrie, like, the media is going to tear at him all the time. Like, as he did that, he's deleted his apology about the shit. Like, shit just doesn't. No. Like, if I don't know if he has a PR person, but like, if I'm Kyrie's PR person, like, what's that the picture of Ben Affleck outside smoking the cigarette? He's like,
bro, like I'll be that's stressed. If I was his agent PR, I'll be like, yo, what is this dude doing?
I know, man. Like, it hurts. And I love Luka so much. I love him so much.
Like, that's what's hurting me. That's what's hurting me right now.
It's hurting me to see him there with Luka. Like, why did you do this, Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
I would have rather him go to Detroit and be like, I always wanted to be in Detroit. The Motor City got love for Kyrie. I have family.
If they sent him to Detroit, I bet you he would have retired. Bet money, he would be like, yeah, peace. I'm done.
But the crazier thing is the Lakers had a serious offer for it. And Joe Tsai didn't want to pull that trigger.
He's a
and
snake,
I mean, I don't blame him. I don't think he's a snake. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at the same time.
No. I would get it. Yeah.
But you've got a guy who's literally strong-armed your team.
Yeah, I agree.
And missed games for stupid reasons and whatever. Like, Kyrie let his team down. End of the day, Kyrie let his team down.
Yeah.
And availability is the best ability. And Kyrie was available but chose not to for whatever is going on in Kyrie's head. Like you don't want to get vaccinated. Okay. Why don't you want to get vaccinated? What's the reason why? Give me a valid answer. And he can't do that.
Well, because he was doing conspiracy. He was doing conspiracy theory stuff, like how he is.
I know, but like it's all ridiculous. It's Fox News bullshit. If you like Fox News, whatever, it's entertainment. But even today, when they asked him about the taking down the post, he was like, I got Jewish people in my family. Y'all never asked me that. Why are you opening up these cans of worms, bro? Why are you doing it?
Man, let me look up the Jewish population of Dallas. Let me just check that real quick.
Mark Cuban, only Jew. All right, so Dallas is getting Kyrie and Markieff Morris, and in return, this is what I don't like.
Ooh, remember how we said 57,000 Jewish people in Dallas? That's a lot. That's a lot.
They everywhere. Anyways, a lot of Muslims in Houston, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So this is what I don't like about that trade. What did we say that didn't smell right in Utah when they got rid of that one guy? What was his name that they sent to the Nets? Royce O'Neal. When they got rid of Royce O'Neal, who's glue.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Dorian Finney-Smith. That's how he is.
Yes.
He is the glue of that team.
Because he plays defense. That's why.
He does. So they just got two glue. They literally got glue and super glue, and that's what the Nets have now. So that's a crazy thing that they would get rid of that.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
How do you think Brooklyn? First of all, I wanted to say something real quick about Dallas. I'm gonna ask you how you think Brooklyn comes out of this. So with Dallas, kind of like from a stylistic standpoint, obviously, who do they compare Luka Doncic to? It's like a out of shape LeBron. That's kind of what they compare him to. So obviously, we know LeBron and Kyrie works. I try to push back on that narrative, though, specifically because LeBron James at that time was a lockdown defender and was the best player in the NBA. Luka Doncic is the best offensive player in the NBA. Man, one of the best offensive players in the NBA. But that's it. He ain't locking nobody down on defense. And Kyrie Irving's not locking nobody down on defense. They have nobody locking anybody down on defense anymore. And the funny thing about it is that they could have had Jalen Brunson and Spencer Dinwiddie, but instead they got rid of those two for Kyrie, which is basically about the same. Not really, but it's about the same when you have Luka Doncic dominating the basketball that much. So I don't know. It's they're gonna make it out the first round. They'll run into maybe the Nuggets in the second round, and we'll see how that goes. But
let's not hold our breath. It may work. You never know.
I mean, it could, but they got to play defense. And why has Brooklyn not won anything? Because they couldn't play defense. All the offensive talent in the world couldn't lock nobody up.
Dallas got better on offense once again. They got better on offense. They had pieces there, and they got rid of good pieces. Like Spencer Dinwiddie, good player to come off your bench. If you got rid of Jalen Brunson, that's okay to still have him there still.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have got rid of Spencer Dinwiddie. Who else went? Dorian Finney-Smith, and who was the other one that left?
Markieff Morris. No, Markieff Morris went to Dallas, actually. So I think it was just those two. I don't think there's anybody else significant.
And a first round pick.
Yeah, it was a first round pick. Let's see. It was
there's one more person that went.
Yeah, when is Ben Simmons gonna get traded? Because he's garbage.
Who cares? All right, let's not stick on all of that. I think out of this trade, Dallas, we'll see what happens. We'll see if it works in its tool. Like, I don't know. But for Brooklyn, they're getting younger, and Cam Thomas, have a week, bro. Or
have yourself a week. Yo, if he keeps his pace, he's packing LeBron in 11 years. He's having a week. 130 points in 3 games. Like, come on, 40 plus.
Don't mess with this man. They asked him a question why he doesn't smile, and he said, "Because ain't shit funny." Probably the second best quote of the year for me. And he's got a lot to smile about now.
What's wrong
Brooklyn
with this
man? Brooklyn is stacking up draft picks and trying to get younger. There's two real questions here, though. There are two real questions that we have. Three. Four. I'll take that back. Not a question, but a statement at the end. One, what is going to happen with Ben Simmons? Are they going to trade him? Because
nobody wants him.
I don't know.
He has no trade value whatsoever.
He has zero trade value.
Like Russell Westbrook even has more trade value than him.
However, Toronto does want him. Two, Kevin Durant. What is going to happen with Kevin Durant?
He's got 3 years left on his deal. He ain't going to, or 4 years left, or 3 years, so he ain't going to.
He does, but will he demand a trade again like he did in the offseason? He can still demand a trade.
He demanded a trade, and what happened? They said, nah, come play ball. And he said, all right, cool, I'll come average 30. Though at the end of the day, what do we know about Kevin Durant? He's not like Kyrie
He just
Irving.
wants to play basketball.
If he can play, he's going to play.
He doesn't like the drama. Yeah. He doesn't like the drama. He sees it.
He just wants the ball.
Third, who's getting fired in the executive office in Brooklyn? Someone's got to go.
Take them all. Because think about it. When the trade happened, right? Remember what the first thing I thought about? I was like, yo, they tried this shit with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and that bullshit back in the day.
I don't think Sean Marks was there though at the time.
I'm just saying, like, the Brooklyn Nets as a whole over the last decade have been doing dumb shit trying to go for a title, and none of it's working. Because they already had Spencer Dinwiddie in the past. They could have had Allen still. They could have had what was his name? D'Lo still. Like, they could have had these pieces with a Kevin Durant already. But they do this for James Harden, doesn't work out. They do this for Kyrie, doesn't work out.
You know why? It's the same thing I say about the San Diego Padres and the Dodgers. Got to beat the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Got to beat the Knicks. Got to be better than the Knicks. That's what they got to do. Be appealing. So, and then my final thing is, and I think we know the answer to this one. What's a more failed big three? Kyrie, KD, James Harden, LeBron, AD, Russ.
You know what's so funny about that? When those two teams first came together, it was like, oh,
exciting.
Shit. This is the NBA Finals. This is the NBA Finals. The Lakers didn't make the playoffs last year, and Brooklyn got swept in the first round. So it's like crazy how quickly both of those flamed out. But honestly, we all knew Russell Westbrook wasn't a stylistic fit for the Lakers, and AD can't stay healthy, and LeBron James is old. On the other side, you have a young Kyrie, a young James Harden, and a still in his prime Kevin Durant. That team was supposed to go like 65 and whatever the record would be, and go win an NBA championship.
Better record than Golden State. Record than Golden State.
They should have gone. They should have, at the bare minimum, made it to a conference final. They didn't even make it to a conference final. So, yeah, that to me was these last 3 years have been pathetic. Like, a lot of it, Kevin Durant can't control his body. His legs are too skinny. His legs are always going to hurt. It's been like that. Him and Steph Curry's ankles are so, like, since the beginning of his career, he has the worst ankles in NBA history. And Kevin Durant has the worst everything lower extremity in NBA history. So it's like those two, you kind of just have to count on it with them. AD, you probably you got to count on it with him too. But yeah, so it's like, and then Kyrie, he's a loose cannon, and then James Harden did not want to be there. Ben Simmons doesn't know how to play basketball anymore. He's getting paid, bro. He's getting paid $30+ million to sit on the bench in the fourth quarter. Like, I was seeing last night against the Phoenix Suns, Cam Thomas was carrying them while Ben Simmons was on the bench, healthy, not playing. I'm like, bro, this is terrible. It's terrible because, like, they made fun of us in Philly for having him, and they didn't realize what they got. They're like, oh, my bad.
And shame on me because I thought the guy was the next coming of LeBron. I thought he was going to be the.
And why do we think that? Because we're paying attention to the media narratives.
To the narrative. But
I wanted to think that, but
also too. If anything, I was on the Ben Simmons side for a while, but now I just can't. I can't be on his side. Like the media did
the other day.
A lot of. Yeah.
I apologize to Donovan Mitchell. Like, for real. Like, I really thought Ben Simmons was better than Donovan Mitchell. That was a farce.
I did. You know what's funny? I thought the same thing. I thought Donovan Mitchell had a good offensive season, but nobody looked at the scoring
Yeah,
and the defense that Ben Simmons put on.
I
But
I
Donovan
think
Mitchell is the real deal.
the thing about the difference between those two is that Donovan Mitchell has gotten better every year. Ben Simmons has actually
Yeah.
gotten worse every single season. Go look at his numbers. He's statistically gotten worse every year, and now mentally, he does not want to play basketball anymore. Like he wants to go be
Yeah.
a celebrity, go hang out with the Kardashians, whatever he needs to do. Basketball is not for. He needs to go back to Australia and go play basketball over there because this ain't
Yeah,
for him.
this ain't it.
Yeah,
Like I wish Stella could find a groove, but he
yeah.
ain't finding no groove.
And
This shit.
I knew this. I had a feeling this would happen because I watched them at LSU. Because like I knew we were taking for everybody. So you already know that you're gonna get a top 3 pick anyway at that time when we're taking for everybody.
NIT that year.
Huh?
Made the NIT.
Yeah,
He made the
exactly.
NIT.
And I watched his body language at LSU. It was exactly the same as it is right now. He just didn't look like he cared about basketball. I think he's just tall and big and athletic, so he just played because he could.
I didn't think this was gonna happen, if I can be honest. Like I thought him and Embiid would have paired perfectly, and then it seemed like Ben wanted to shine. He was the number 1 overall pick, but Embiid, we trust that process. We took all those bigs. We said we're sticking with Embiid, and when Embiid came on the floor, Embiid was more impactful.
Yeah,
and at that point, Ben had to change his game, and Ben didn't look like a team leader. And that's when I saw, okay, I can see a changing of the guard. It's Embiid's team, not Ben's team. And then the whole, I don't want to play, I'm sitting out, that drama, that's when I was like, this guy doesn't have it in him. So, which one do you say is the more failed one of the three?
Oh,
the big three? Because
Brooklyn.
Ben Simmons ain't in that.
It's Brooklyn.
It is Brooklyn.
I'm sorry.
Has to be Brooklyn.
You have that much young talent that could score. Those 3 could average 100 points a game collectively. Just those 3 alone. We've seen it happen. We remember when it first started, it was like, oh my God, they scored 120 between the 3 of them. Fair. It was insane.
This isn't fair.
And I was like, damn.
It wasn't
they go, this is not fair, bro. This is horrible. But deep down, we knew this ain't gonna work, bro. Like we knew it could work, but like it's just something always did not smell right about the whole situation. And then, lo and behold, here we are on February 8th, heading into Super Bowl weekend and trade deadline, and none of these big threes exist anymore. And I think in conclusion of all this stuff with NBA trade deadlines and all this stuff, I think the front office has finally gotten. I think the front office is getting the power back because all these players have been trying to stronghold, trying to go to where they want to go to, and all this stuff. And we've seen it fail.
I love more.
We've seen it fail so much now. Like, when is the last time we've seen a big 3 work? Like, nobody's won a championship since LeBron and obviously Kevin Durant, but that was not a big 3. That was unfair. That was actually unfair.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think everybody tries to do that, but it all comes down successful big 3s. When you look at it historical wise, like they want to play with each other.
Yeah.
No, everybody shuts up and knows their role, type of thing. Like The Rock, shut your mouth and know your role. Like everybody knows that. So like D Wade was the leading scorer in Miami. Chris Bosh, leading scorer in Toronto. LeBron James, best player in the NBA. You think D Wade or LeBron is going to be second fiddle to D Wade? Yes, it's Wade County, but it was LeBron real quick. So those guys want to play with each other. And then you have the nucleus of the big 3 in Golden State, and then you add Kevin Durant, who's just the guy who's,
just wants to hoop.
Can shoot. Just wants to hoop. He ain't got to be friends with him. So historically,
he ain't got to come to team dinners with us. He's just going to hoop.
Yeah, and then you got the big 3. We go back further. We go with the San Antonio big 3. Like those guys got along with each other. They're all foreigners on a team in America and balling out. So,
but the difference is that all those teams were like, a lot of them were organic. It felt more organic. Whereas like
organic,
like look at these last few years.
Not
Boston,
forced. Not forced. Everything else has been forced.
Exactly. Like Russell Westbrook, to me, that was a forced situation that they tried to make work. Frank Vogel couldn't do it.
If they would have got DeMar DeRozan, you would have been great. I feel like we've been talking about a different Lakers team
No, dude,
because
they got
DeMar would have
Dame
needed
Lillard. Woo! They would have got Dame
or
Lillard.
Dame, but we know Dame's, not going
I
anywhere. We
know.
know Dame doesn't want
I know. I'm
DeMar.
sad.
DeMar wanted to go there, and it was between DeMar and Russ, and they chose Russ because I guess AD said this, and LeBron backed it up, and they wanted to do that because we both said it. If anybody can change Russ, it's gonna be LeBron. And
Dog, that's how bad it is. Not even LeBron James could fix Russell Westbrook. Kevin Durant couldn't do it. James Harden couldn't do it. Chris Paul. He play Chris Paul? Nah.
no.
Nah, he didn't play Chris Paul. Bradley Beal couldn't do it. LeBron can't do it. It's like, who you think Kawhi Leonard and Paul George are gonna fix Russell Westbrook? Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi. Kawhi. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Jimmy Butler, maybe. Jimmy Butler might
maybe. I hope Miami go get some. That'd be funny.
I think that would be
wherever he goes. He's obviously not going to go sign with the Detroit Pistons. He's going to sign with.
What if he goes to Dallas? What if he goes to Dallas?
Nah, they ain't. Mark Cuban ain't putting up with that shit.
We never know. Mark Cuban.
Hell no.
He got Kyrie Irving, so we'll see.
Hell no.
All right.
So, real quick, speaking of LA, because you're talking about DeMar DeRozan and shit, I don't think the Lakers are done. You think they got a chance to go get one of these DeMar DeRozan types? Because they got $47 million off the cap now.
If I'm the Lakers, my new trade chip is D'Angelo Russell. That is my new trade chip. I am trading D'Angelo Russell.
You know who my trade chip would be? Anthony Davis.
You can't. Like, as much as I want to agree with you on that, you just can't right now because.
Can you imagine the Lakers had like Zach LaVine and Vucevic, or DeMar DeRozan and Vucevic instead of AD? I think they would win the championship with that because they're available. They play. Vucevic has been to a couple All-Star games. DeMar DeRozan is nose down, just going to ball. And Zach LaVine.
I do not want them to get Zach LaVine. I'm sorry. There's just something that doesn't smell right about me.
I 100% agree with you, but we're talking about Jeannie Buss and the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, they want the glitz and the glamour. They should go get a DeMar DeRozan, but yeah.
I don't think AD moves, although it is wise to move AD. It is very wise to move AD.
Because at this point, it's like
that name.
I don't know.
But AD is a headache. I don't think they're done either. I think they know the assignment. Get young, and they're getting younger. So they went and got some younger players, good role players. Hachimura's a godsend for them. We'll see what Vanderbilt and them do if D'Lo stays. I would be trying to move D'Lo to get somebody. Jordan Clarkson would have been a nice return if they could have got Jordan Clarkson too.
That would have been a better return. I think that was discussed as well, but that definitely would have been a better return. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in the works. Like maybe there's another asset they can go get. I know Buddy Hield and Miles Turner has been discussed all year. I know Miles Turner just resigned with Indiana though. Yeah. So
I don't get that guy. He's a headache too. Like he talks all that shit, and they're just like he's like the boyfriend that wants to break up but just keeps coming back.
Yep.
Like, I don't get it. Who are some other names that are out there? I know Toronto's having
Toronto and Anunoby. They might ship him. Fair Van Vliet, they might ship him. Siakam, he might get shipped. Gary Trent, like they got Toronto's like they started because Toronto was really good in the 2010s. You know what I mean? Like they couldn't get past LeBron, but they were a number one seed a few times. Like they were a talented basketball team, and then they finally won with Kawhi. They need to reset. Like they haven't reset. Like, you know, every basketball team at some point has to just go through this. And I think it's time for them to kind of just tear it down and build this shit back up. So I think they're going to just unload all those players. I think Brooklyn is going to get some of them. I think the Phoenix Suns, Jay Crowder's about to get shipped somewhere. Chris Paul's been dangled. They've been dangling Chris Paul's name for the last couple months.
I saw your boy requested a trade.
Who? Korkmaz?
Yeah.
Bro, when I saw that, I'm like, bro, shut the hell up, bro. Shut the hell up, dog.
And they're talking about trading Thibault too.
Yeah,
Matisse Thybulle.
that was look, man. I was paying attention to shit again yesterday. Got me pissed off. We drafted Mikal Bridges and we traded him away for Zaire Smith.
He came to us.
No, we
Came to
traded him
us.
to
We
Phoenix.
traded. I know, but I think he was at our pick. We traded with you.
Yeah,
So
we traded with you. Yeah, and then we traded him to Phoenix. The homegrown Philly kid, we traded him to Phoenix, and now look at him. And we have Zaire Smith. I haven't heard from him since we drafted him. Forgot the other guy's name because he hasn't even played yet. And then we drafted Matisse Thybulle, who is a good defender, but he can't shoot for shit, like at all. He's literally, remember what's his name? Andre Roberson? He's not even in the league no more because he can't shoot. He couldn't make free throws. He couldn't shoot. Like, what do we have you for? You can just play defense. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I would love to get rid of him. I heard we might shop Montrezl Harrell. He can't stay on the basketball team. The dude won 6 Man of the Year and still gets bounced around every single year. I'm watching this Boston game right now.
I think it's here, man. I think it's here.
Yeah, I'm watching this Boston game right now. He looks like he got a gut. Like, he's not even, like, working out no more. It's like we haven't been able to find Embiid a good backup. We tried it with Dwight. We tried it with Drummond. We tried it with him. Like, we can't find Elton Brand. We've tried it, not Elton Brand, Paul Millsap. We've tried it with everybody. It's just we just can't find that guy. So, but yeah, Thybulle, he can go. Korkmaz, he can go. Are the Knicks thinking about doing anything?
I know D Rose is one. I think the Bucks want him. And then of course Cam Reddish is the other. Cam Reddish is the one that we got to move Cam Reddish. Like that's what I don't like seeing is Cam Reddish not playing because we see him when he gets on the court, he balls out.
He's a hooper.
I would like them. I know they were trying to target OG, but I would not give up a lot for him. I'm sorry, I would not give up a lot for.
I heard Brooklyn's looking at OG too.
Yeah, so is Miami. So is
Miami is about a piece away too. They're trying to get rid of Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry's old and chubby ass.
Fat booty. That's it. I just the NBA is getting younger. You got to get with the times. That's how it is. And if you can have a thick booty out there, like better be healthy.
I mean, last night was glaring. Like LeBron is doing this and everything is gret, and OKC's young team off of a back-to-back still put up 133.
Laughing in the league soon. Like they're like, we see how young we are. Like,
yo, old man,
Shy is good.
Come on, old man.
The Williams trio is good. Like they're good.
I'm trying to see who else. I mean, outside of that, I mean, I don't see anybody else who. I mean, I don't think Golden State gonna do anything. Milwaukee.
Golden State is supposedly they're shopping their Wiseman and Moody to see what the market looks like for them.
They should, because Moody was supposed to take the next step this year. Wiseman, he's been a colossal failure. Even what's his name, who played well last year, Kuminga, he ain't done shit this year either. Like those three were supposed to make that next step. But I forgot who said it. I think it was Kendrick Perkins talked about it over the summer that even though they won a championship, they're not headed in the right direction because the point was to get those three ready to take over the reins. And they're still holding on to Steph and Clay. Draymond's starting to decline. And even Wiggins is not playing the way he played last year. Yeah. He's starting to decline health-wise. Like they're about to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. So
let's pump the brakes there because one of those guys really come alive last year, end of the season, and could very well see that again.
I mean,
we could very well see that
again. Absolutely.
Just like we're talking about the running backs, fresh legs into the NBA season. It could happen. And now that Steph's out, somebody's gonna have to step up. So we'll see what happens there.
Yep.
The Hawks, I don't know what's going on with John Collins again.
Yeah, they've been shopping his name for 2 seasons now.
The Bogdanovich,
just like Cam Reddish when they finally got rid of him.
Yeah, the Bogdanovich boys, like both of them names have been discussed.
The Detroit Bogdanovich, somebody's gonna get him, and whoever gets him, that's gonna be a big move. Like if he goes to like Denver or something, Denver gonna win the championship. I don't know about that, but like that's the type of player that Brooklyn could use. Boston. Remember they were supposed to get what's his name over the summer. Then he tore his ACL. Gallinari. Imagine they get like a Bogdanovich.
Boston is shopping Gallinari and Pritchard, apparently. See what the market looks like for those guys. And that's always like in-house stuff. That's always discussed. Like nobody wants Peyton Pritchard, but for peas and carrots, somebody will do it.
Yeah.
Charlotte
is 15-41. Weren't they in the playoffs last year?
I don't remember.
Gee, they were. They got smoked. They were playing. They was in the play-in still. But yeah, I mean, Cleveland. What about Cleveland? They're not good enough to beat Boston or Milwaukee in a 7-game series, but they're just right there though. Like,
I feel like they could hang. I feel like they could. I just think like the East is just up and down all the time. Like you've seen the Knicks beat the Sixers, and the Sixers will wax the Knicks, and then the Bucks will beat the Celtics, and the Celtics will come back and beat. Like I feel like that's the.
And then Orlando will go beat the shit out of Boston 3 times.
We'll figure.
Side note. I like Orlando. I think they're about to be, once they get a veteran, they're about to take off. That young talent, they scrappy. Obviously, I don't know if you saw the fight last week and everything, but
I saw it.
With Mo Bamba and Austin Rivers, like it was.
Mo Bamba's gone. Mo Bamba's going to be gone. Mo Bamba's going to be gone at the
trade he will. Yeah, he's expendable. But like, they have the young nucleus to be like, we're almost there. So. Yeah, they gonna be a problem soon. They're like a young Phoenix like a couple years ago before they took off. We'll see.
That might be the guy that you gamble with is go get him as a backup for Embiid is Mo Bamba because of youth.
But I want reliability. Somebody who's gonna stay healthy. Somebody who's going to be there.
He's healthy. The Magic just don't play him because they got.
Think about it. Embiid, we kind of just know 20 games out of the year and maybe a couple games in the playoffs. He's going to probably need not to play because his stomach hurt, his foot hurts, his face gets broken. Like, everything happens to him. Like, you just kind of expect it. So, I need somebody who's able to, like, carry their own weight. I don't know if Mo Bamba could do that with the kind of roster
did that. I mean, when they gave him the potential to start, he was playing good basketball like a big man would in this age. Wasn't averaging, 20 and 10, but he was 10 and close to 10 and was doing good. That's serviceable for a big man. I think Mo Bamba would be the perfect fit for you guys instead of an outdated Dwight Howard, anime chick loving outdated Andre Drummond, Paul Millsap over the hill, fucking Montrezl Harrell is one stupid Jordan Air Force One hybrid away from me ever looking at what he puts on his feet. Like they get youth. Youth is what you need, and Mo Bamba's still young. So there's I feel like this year's trade line, like it's not even crunch time on the trade deadline, and we already got two big moves already. Like 2 very big moves have just happened. So
hey, shout out to the NBA. It's Super Bowl week, and we've been talking about a lot of basketball this week on the airwaves. Everywhere you listen, it's a lot of basketball going. LeBron has helped that. Obviously, trades helped that, but yeah.
I think this is going to be one of the biggest trade deadlines ever. I think the West.
We'll see. Like first thing in the morning, because we've seen a couple of dominoes fall. When we wake up tomorrow, we're gonna have to see like, oh, okay, now the well has been broken. This guy's here. So the teams that know they can win it this year, they're the ones that are going to go out and get somebody. Like that's just how it's going to be.
I'll tell you this: if KD is traded, I will not be surprised. I truly will not be. I don't think he will. If KD is traded,
he's not getting traded.
I will not.
He's not getting traded.
I know he's not.
He's not.
I know
Joe Tsai made that clear.
Yeah, I'm just saying that I will not be surprised.
They got to sell tickets in Brooklyn. Kevin Durant is staying in Brooklyn. The only way he's going is New York or Miami or Phoenix. He ain't going to New York. He'll go to Miami or Phoenix. That's it.
Yeah, somebody's getting fired in that office though. Sean Marks better be like getting that trip ready to go to New Zealand. So
take Ben Simmons with him.
Hey,
Ben Simmons with him.
Ben Simmons is right there, man. All right, what else you got?
That's it. I mean, that's all I got. Side note: did you watch any of the Pro Bowl weekend? I actually think that was the best
I
Pro Bowl weekend I've ever watched from NFL in like 20 years, like 15 years.
I thought it was great. I
Yeah.
thought it was great, perfect. Players seem to really like
You
it.
can just see the joy on their faces. Like they were
Yeah,
like, damn,
and
this is pretty fucking
having
cool.
fun. Even Derek Carr's answer.
Yeah.
Even Derek Carr's answer, like everybody was
Everybody was loose. You know how it is with football. Like they wear helmets. So it's like we don't get their personality a lot, right? I feel like for the first time, like we got everybody's personality. Like, the big men were doing their thing and everybody had a role. But basically, like Pro Bowls is like everybody just walking on the field. Like nobody was ever taking it seriously. They took that flag football shit seriously. They took all the competition seriously. You just like everybody was talking about the money. It's like a measly $84,000 to a bunch of millionaires. They wanted that $84,000. They're like, yeah, we want that money. So definitely NFL. I gotta give y'all credit because I've been making fun of y'all for a while for not being able to adapt. Y'all got this shit right. Like to me, it's kind of supplanted the NBA All-Star Weekend because the dunk contest has been pretty trash lately, and the All-Star game has been okay. All we have looking forward to is like the three-point contest. So it's like, that's all we've had. For the Pro Bowl weekend, they got that shit right. I think they got it right. Eli Manning and Peyton Manning on the sidelines, Snoop Dogg, Pete Davidson. Like it was just entertaining. It was very entertaining. I think you got to give it to the NFLPA and the all that stuff for coming up with this. It was really good.
I agree. I thought it was very entertaining. It was hats off. Myles Garrett did get injured, but that's
but it's like at the end of the day, Myles Garrett plays basketball during the summer at the rec. He's gonna get injured because he's a big ass dude and he puts a lot on his body. I mean, but it's nothing. I don't think it's anything crazy, right? Like he'd be fine. So,
but I thought it was great. NFL, if you're getting anything right, that was it. Keep
that was it.
Format and let the players have fun.
Yep.
We don't want to go out there and like you said, you could see the raw emotion in their faces.
Yeah.
No helmets, having fun.
The crowd was into it. Like everybody was just into it. Like you could just, I mean, again, it's flag football, right? But you're not tackling anybody, so it's
except
easier
Jalen
to go more all out.
Except Jalen Ramsey, who didn't get
Jalen Ramsey, I guess that was in the script.
Yeah,
that was in the script. You had to go tackle
him. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. Yeah. No complaints there. So
that's all I got. Fly equals fly, baby. Go ahead and close us out.
All right. So you can find us on Twitter at fair_weather_pod. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Search the Fair Weather Podcast. We are there, and wherever you subscribe or listen to podcasts, the Fair Weather Podcast is what you want to look for. Words of advice.
Two things. Damn, Boston just beat us again. It's going, man. Boston's good, man. I gotta give it to them. Anyway, my recurring theme is always, mental health. I woke up this morning and I was down in the dumps. You just make sure especially as men, we're all toxic masculinity, and we don't take shit seriously sometimes like women do and like other cultures do, especially like in the minority culture. We definitely don't take mental health seriously enough yet. Just make sure we're always checking on each other, make sure that we're all empowering each other, stop tearing each other down. From a bigger, from a grander scheme, you see somebody like LeBron James and everybody wants to tear him down. And then on a small screen, you see your friend, you want to root for his downfall or pray for him to fail or something like that because you don't get to succeed. It's all jealousy. It's all smelly. It's bad. Like it just doesn't, it's not cool. We just need to do a better job just lifting each other up because like I said it earlier, like the human race is just is a very troubled species right now, and you kind of just look at the way of the world, and we got wars going on everywhere and spy balloons. Like the shit's not like there's so much political this and two sides to everything. Like no one can just agree to just love each other. So yeah, we just got to do better as human beings, as the human race. And it just starts with, me and you and him and her. Like it starts with us before we can spread that out. So that's all.
So quick piggyback off of that. I think I preached that a bunch of episodes back. Don't be afraid to tell your friends you love them. Like, you said you're not. Like, it's put the male ego aside. let that die. Once you let the male ego die, life is better.
Uh-huh.
But don't be afraid to tell your friends that you love them. Those 3 words go a long way when somebody hears it and can change somebody's day really, really quick. So
Yep. And we just lost to Boston, and Tatum only had 12 points. So there's that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Fly Eagles fly. What else?
Respect LeBron James. That's it.
Respect, man. That's all it is. I don't care who you like. You can like Kareem. You can like Bill Russell. You can like Michael. I don't care who you like. You can still respect talent. Okay, so I'm gonna just leave it there. Fly Eagles fly.